Thom Hartmann here on the best of the rest of science and green news. You need to know this. If Earth's resources were a credit card, we would have already maxed out our entire allocation for this year. The think tank Global Footprint Network announced that August 19th was Earth Overshoot Day, meaning that all the resources we use after that day exceed what our planet can produce in a single year. The International Sustainability Organization says that approximately every 8 months, we demand more renewable resources and CO2 sequestration than what the planet can provide for an entire year. They explained that ever since the 1970s, human consumption has resulted in shrinking forests, collapsing fisheries, rising commodity prices, and worsening climate change. Overuse of resources is obviously an ecological problem, but it's also an economic one. The president of the Global Footprint Network said countries with resource deficits and low income are exceptionally vulnerable. He added that high-income nations need to realize that a long-term solution requires addressing such dependencies before they turn into a significant economic stress. In other words, even rich nations like ours won't be able to afford this unsustainable cycle forever. Living sustainably is important in the fight against global warming, but it's also one of the best ways to ensure that all people have access to important resources. We can't survive if we destroy our planet or deplete our resources, or if we can't afford access to food and water. We must make the switch to green energy, use our vital resources wisely, and protect the one and only planet that we can call home. We know that food waste can be turned into compost and even energy, but scientists say it can also be used to make plastic. New findings published in the journal Macromolecules say that organic acid can be used to create bioplastics from things like parsley stems and rice husks. Using these biodegradable materials to create plastic could not only reduce food waste, they could someday replace the oil used to make plastic. Today, plastics are used in everything from cleansing products to car parts, and they can take hundreds, if not thousands, of years to break down in our environment. In 2012 alone, almost 300 tons of non-renewable petroleum-based plastic were produced worldwide. There's so much plastic waste in our environment that it has made its way to nearly every stretch of our oceans and deep into the soil all across the world. If we can replace this petroleum-based plastic with a biodegradable fiber, we could reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and keep tons of plastic waste out of our environment. The only question is, what are we waiting for? Have you ever wondered how some animals camouflage themselves within their environment? Well, when it comes to squid, cuttlefish, and other sea creatures, science says that they do it with light. A new study published by the National Academy of Sciences found that these marine species use a special 3-layer skin, which includes a light-detecting layer to match their surroundings. What's even more amazing is scientists have been able to copy this amazing ability. Using thin sheets of a flexible polymer, scientists at the University of Illinois have been able to mimic this camouflage ability, and they say it could have important implications for the future. The authors write, the concepts provide realistic routes to thin sheets that can be wrapped onto solid objects to modulate their visual appearance with potential relevance to consumer, industrial, and military applications. Whether you're thinking about the military vehicle of the future or a cell phone case that can automatically outmatch your outfit, we have to admit that we live in an incredible time. Every single month this year has broken or matched temperature records, and July was no exception. New data from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration shows that last month tied the previous record for the hottest ocean temperatures in July in all 130 years of U.S. government record keeping. Land temperatures last month were 1.3 degrees Fahrenheit above the average for the last century, making July of 2014 the fourth highest land temperature records on record. These are not the types of records that we want to keep breaking. Our planet is getting hotter fast, but we're not moving quickly enough to the switch to green energy. While big oil pumps more carbon into our atmosphere, our lawmakers are busy debating the facts. These temperatures are not partisan, and global warming is not going to spare those who refuse to accept science. We should be investing in green infrastructure, moving away from fossil fuels, and making the fossil fuel industry pay the costs of destroying our planet. One of the best ways to make this change is to put a price on carbon pollution. We can make the fossil fuel industry pay for their destruction, and we help make green energy more affordable. To find out how a carbon tax can help, check out our new video, Carbon, at greenworldrising.org. And finally, 50 years ago, psychology textbooks said that students who daydreamed we're on the path to psychosis. However, new science says that there are amazing benefits to letting your mind wander. A new study from the University of California, Santa Barbara found that most people daydream about the future and long-term goals. In addition, the authors of the study said that those who daydreamed about the future had the highest levels of attention control. Although some psychologists still view a wandering mind as a bad thing, this new study isn't the only one to show that daydreaming has real benefits. A recent study on students found that those who imagined a successful academic future felt better connected to their schools, more concerned with doing well, and had more strategies on how to make academic success a reality. Another study on human intelligence found that daydreamers tend to be more positive and to score higher in overall mindfulness. Despite earlier misconceptions, science shows that there are real benefits to taking a mental break. Perhaps we should be a little more patient with our daydreaming friends and family members, or maybe even emulate them. And that's the way it is for the week of August 25th, 2014. I'm Thom Hartmann on Science and Green News.